What's up, YouTube? 2020 Tantra on Amazon. Info in the description. Also on Instagram and Facebook. Check me out. Anyway, so the body is mainly moisture. Just no different than rain or, being evaporated. The body, you can look at raindrops or ions. No different than you look at the cells in the body. So you can look at the body itself as a mist of light or a mist of moisture. There's no separation. So, again, there's no needs because water doesn't need you to exist. You don't need water to exist. You are water. Water is you. You are light. Light is you. You are earth. Earth is you. You are air. Air is you. So there is no need. There's no separation in that. So you're just a cluster of views or a cluster of light, a cluster of spirits, whatever you want to call it. Breath, cluster of breath. However you want to call it. There's no separation in any element or anything. So all those cells or selves have perspective, and as they cluster, then they have their own. I don't want to say their own will, but they have their own willpower, their energy, their spirit, and that pressure as it becomes, as it comes into a whatever you want to call a cosmic egg or whatever, into a human body like this, and is bound into this crystallized prism that is the human body, then those spirits basically push for positioning. They're trying to, it's no different than external culture, the internal culture. So you're going to have some trying to be kings, some trying to be queens, some trying to do this, some trying to be thieves, some trying to be free enterprisers, whatever you want to call it. So all of those wills or will powers, those spirits are in you. And whatever you feed into is pretty much where your light resides within you in your body, wherever echelon or part, whichever floor. You can look at yourself as a skyscraper, and you can stay at different levels in the elevator, and wherever your presence is where your blood is, where the light is. So there are no needs in that sense, though, because exchanging with anybody externally is an exchange internally. So ultimately that you have to just stir the pot within, in a sense, or get back to that stillness within, because that's what causes all the motion, like the hollow center of a wheel, like I keep saying. So everything, you're basically just a collection of your versions. So like your sons and fathers and uncles and all these people, these are all different versions of your spirit, of the same. Everybody is that. Everything is a version of oneness. So, and every part of the whole is the whole. So, every child is an ancestor, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have to respect them, all the torch bearers, all the Lucifers, because that's what the bodies are. The light bearers. Lucy is light. Fair is fairy. So Lucifer is light bearer. The body is a light bearer. It's a crystal prism. It's the bearer of light. The bearer of the blood. The blood is the light. So the body is the fairy for the light. It is the Lucifer. So it's carrying the torch. So any body should be respected as far as the melanin or the light that it carries, no matter what the degree it is, because the melanin within it is the same melanin that is you, that is the true identity. That is the light. So there are a lot of torch bearers, but there's only one torch. There's only one light. So as far as the prototypes is concerned, you got the oneness. Then you could have the 13 prototypes or the zodiacs or whatever you want to call it. So those will be the one light in a family. And then there's a bunch of light bearers that can express different spirits or different angles of that one light, different distortions or angles, like you said, like if you looking at the light from a jaded perspective or from different, just different angles of the same light. But there's one light in each tree, family tree or whatever, because that tree is reflecting the one tree, the Patnateru, physically in the stars, on earth, however you want to look at it. So you have that person that is the seed and the fruit, the person that is the light in the family, and everybody else is passing that light through generation to generation. That full embodiment, the person that's the full complete tree, and other people are leaves, branches, roots, different pieces of the tree. But then something is the complete blueprint that's getting passed down the whole thing, the whole way. That oneness that's always been through the whole expression of life, and all the other branches are there for continuity, for the contrast of what is and what isn't. The noise is there to show what the silence is, the truth and the lie. The lie is there to show what the truth is. It's the same thing. So you look at it like a teacher is sending a beacon out because the teacher is trying to attract a greater student, because a teacher needs a student so it can evolve. So you have to learn how to teach better, and so you can reflect too. So the more you help, the more the cup floweth over and runneth downward that way. So where you pull them up, they pull you up in a sense. And there's a lot of spirits that control the one body. So the one body is like the ship, and then you got a lot, like a government that's controlling it. Again, you got that will, and every will, the spirit in it it's got its thoughts and its own government. It's like a person in a sense too. It's like all the people in your life. The closest people to your life are the higher elements of your government. That's like your generals and stuff like that. If you got a brother or somebody that's a heavy influence in your life, those are the higher compartments of your spiritual government. The people that are closer reflections of you, they're coming from that source, closer from that source that you come from. So as you put that beacon out, as a teacher, raises the light to this energy, then the moths, the male principle continues to push. The feminine is this immortal energy, this momentum, this never-ending momentum, physical energy that we can forever work with. And the masculine constantly pushes to keep the pushing, to keep the experiences going, to keep the change going, and to not stagnate in that water of just feminine. So mothers or mothers chase the light. You put the light up, and then the mothers, the eggs, they come. The one that truly reflects that light comes, and then that one union of yin and yang, when it's a proper egg, the proper reflection of the light, that union and resonance of light and egg, or seed and egg, that is what reflects all the expressions and all the relationships and all the families that exist in the world. It seems like there's a lot of people in the world, but it's no different than an ant farm. It's really not that many people. It's really can all be collapsed. All the lifetimes can be collapsed. It's really not that. It's fragmentation. It's not multiplicity. It's fragmentation. So you have the male gradually getting its light up by holding its seed and getting its potency up. The potential energy is gradually building while it resides in that feminine, in that immortal momentum. It's gaining potential, that staying power by not doing, by being the feminine, by doing, not releasing. The potency goes up, and then the energy raises, and then the eggs show themselves, the ones that vibrate at the highest level. So when they get to the highest level, then all the creation comes through that, because everything is a product of the creation. All the creation that we can perceive through human bodies is a product from our sexuality. From whoever the highest pitch or highest vibration sexual beings are, the rest of the physical creation expression is a product of that. So whoever is in the jungle right now doing the most pure yin and yang connection, that is birthing the rest of the relationships. Everything else is a house of mirrors. That's the only real one. The other one's just a reflection. So we're just getting lost in the house of mirrors. So that's why there's not that many people. There's really only Adam and Eve if you want to take it there. So, or there's really only oneness. Adam is Eve, Eve is Adam, however you want to look at it. So Eve is the physical Adam. Adam is the software. She's the hardware, he's the software. Heavenly Father, Mother Earth. God and devil. Devil is God of earth. There's no separation between devil and God. God is the devil. Devil is God. Lucifer is the light bearer. The light is the fairy is the light in a sense. There's no separation. The projector is the projection. So we're just getting into it deeper and deeper. But anyway, the male is disseminating the light, not inseminating. It's disseminating the seed in all various forms, disseminating the light. And the moth or the mothers they're not chasing the light. They support it by their position of their vibration. By contrast, they support it by being the darkness. So it's just like why long and short define each other. It's not to say one is better or other, or one is above or below, because the male has to return to the feminine to recharge, restore itself, and then push all of humanity a little bit further. The consciousness and the experience is a little bit further, a little bit more different. Go back, recharge in the core, in the mother, and then push it a little bit further. And so you never stagnate, and then everything constantly, inhale and exhale. And it's a contraction and expansion, however you want to look at it, but perspective never changes. You just see infinity from infinity. It's a constant handing of lemons. You keep making lemonade, and it just keeps changing. You get into elements in different ways, from different perspectives, and you're seeing them from different perspectives, and you just let them flow in the way they want to flow instead of getting in the way of them. Let the energy flow to its point that it wants to, within you and around you. In the day, you have energy to work with. You have ideas that you want to get done, but in the day you have energy that's readily available, and that's all that you can work with. And you gotta bend yourself to flowing with that energy that's available, and that's being the Tao. So that's it, man. And if you just continue to evolve others, then you realize there's no others, and that's when you have that solitude, that true solitude, the soul attitude, the one attitude, solipsism, the true solipsism. So it's all about your breathing patterns. Your breathing patterns change everything. That's your frequency. That really is it. That really is it. So you can use the presence that you have left. You can use that to torch what's left, or you can use it to remember the rest of you. And the government is the spiritual inventory. Whatever is left in your temple, that the government that you're running off of now, that's just what's left. They pretty much back themselves into a corner. The parasites are pretty much all the parts of you that you've made external to you. So you're saying, I got this problem that I got to solve. Instead of me doing the alchemy, I'll let somebody else do it. They'll do it. Then I won't have the responsibility. So then you no longer have the responsibility. Responsibility is energy. So if you don't have the energy, then it's all around you. Then you constantly get crushed by your own will, because energy is willpower. So, yep, that's really about it. That's really about it. The male has to constantly push. The feminine has to recharge. He keeps returning. He pushes so she doesn't stagnate. And that's the book of changes, basically. That's the I Ching. So he can continue to make changes of keeping things the same but changing them, like rearranging furniture in the same room to change the feng shui. That's really about it. To keep things flowing, keeping things the same but different. And when the male can no longer push, he passes the torch. And usually it's just like to create the best teacher, so that he can jump through that window. So he attracts a teacher, imports the data through them. You do it in a holistic way, so all the data comes in at once, and they're not circumcised and vaccinated and traumatized. So it's not a fragment of inspiration. It's all in one, so then they can communicate the things more clearly. Then the torch gets passed rapidly, and then you can just pull from infinity. You can pull from that, you're not pulling from that hate. Hate is finite. It's temporary. It can't last. But you're pulling from that infinity, then you get limitless ideas, and then you can constantly jump through them windows, and it's just you handing yourself the torch back and forth, however you want to look at it. So that's really about it. We're the torch bearers. 2020 Tantra on Amazon. Info in the description. Please support if you feel compelled to.